Quickly extend your stash and increase your options with 2 solid papers and a simple pattern overlay. In this lesson, we're going to see how easy it is to use a pattern overlay to create a simple patterned paper. I'm filming this video in advanced mode of Photoshop Elements, but the instructions are exactly the same for Photoshop except were noted. Digital scrapbooking kits come with so many beautiful papers, from artsy mixed media styles to plain solid papers and everything in between. When I'm working with a kit, most of the time I have everything I need to make the page I'm envisioning. Designers do a great job of creating papers with various patterns so that nothing else is needed. But once in a while, I'm looking for a certain color combination or maybe a more basic or simple pattern that wasn't included in the kit, and this is where pattern overlays can really help us. So here, I've created a new 12-inch by 12-inch document, and I've moved a pattern overlay onto my working document. For the exact steps on how to do that, please see the manual that comes with the downloads for this lesson. So in the downloads for this lesson, I've included this overlay for you to practice with. It's called pp-lines pattern overlay-jj.png. This overlay is part of my practical patterns pack that I have for sale in Marketplace. In the downloads, I've also included some solid papers for you to practice with. So you can open the paper 1 and paper 2 file now, then move them onto the working document like I've done here. For exact steps on how to do this, you can refer to the manual. So now in the layers panel, we need to make one of the paper layers the main color of the paper or like the background of the paper. And we're going to do that by putting it behind the pattern overlay layer. So in this case, I'm going to click on the green solid paper and I'm going to move it below the pattern overlay. Now in the layers panel, we'll click on the cream paper layer to make it the active layer. And you also want to make sure that the cream paper layer is just above the pattern overlay layer. Then in the menu bar, choose Layer, Create Clipping Mask. And so now I've just made a patterned paper using 2 solid papers and a pattern overlay. Now to use this on a project, press Ctrl A in Windows or Command A on a Mac to select the entire document. Then in the menu bar, you're going to choose Edit, Copy, Merged, and this will make a merged copy of everything that's visible on the document. Once you have created a merged copy, go to your working document or whatever scrapbook page or project you're working on, and then in the layers panel, you need to click to activate a layer that you wish the paper to either be clipped to or be like right above. So I'm going to activate this gray box here, and then I will press Ctrl V in Windows or Command V on a Mac to paste. And then if you need to, in the menu bar, choose Layer, Create Clipping Mask. So before we end this lesson, I have a few tips for you on how to best pick 2 solid papers from a kit to make a coordinating patterned paper. My first tip is to do what we just did. Use 1 lightly colored neutral solid with 1 more saturated solid paper. This combination of solids will almost always work well for you. My second tip is to try using a tone-on-tone paper combination. This means that if your kit has like 2 or 3 solid papers that are all shades of blue, you can use those solids to make a new paper that coordinates well with the kit you're using. Now, one thing to avoid is to not pick 2 highly saturated papers to use. This will often result in a new paper that is either too overwhelming or weird looking. So leave the difficult color combinations to the designers and stick to simple color choices. So here's my page where I used my newly created paper to finish off the look. The kit that I was using didn't have a green patterned paper that would work well for this page because the ones in the kit were more on the feminine side and I didn't really want to use those here. So being able to use a pattern overlay in this way helped me extend my stash, and I love how this page came together. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing to our channel. This has been Jennifer Juris with Digital Scrapper. We help you get your stories told.